the current U.S. Open champion. Please.
My goodness. Well, I did not know I was going to be coming up here today, but I got to say thank you. And what the president done in this term has been incredible, right? It's the greatest economy that we've ever had, and just to be serving on the President's Council of Sports, Fitness, and Nutrition has been such an honor. And the First Lady looks so beautiful, by the way. And I'll say cheers to the greatest economy that we've had in a long, long time.
This is professional golfer Bryson DeChambeau. He's praising the economy while
after the announcement of the PGA and LIV Golf potential merger, he was asked about Saudi Arabia and its ties to 9/11 and specifically the criticism of 9/11 families. And his response is everything as to how people can get completely bought off and start talking in circles and just sound like complete idiots. Here's what he had to say.
Well, I think we'll never be able to repay the families back for what exactly happened just over 20 years ago. And what happened is definitely horrible. And I think as time has gone on, 20 years has passed, and we're in a place now where it's time to start trying to work together to make things better together as a whole. I have deep sympathy. I don't know exactly what they're feeling. I can't ever know what they feel, but I have a huge amount of respect for their position and what they believe. Nor do I ever want anything like that to ever occur again. I think as we move forward from that, we've got to look towards the pathway to peace, especially in forgiveness, especially if we're trying to mend the world and make it a better place. Yeah, I mean, look, it's unfortunate what has happened, and that's something I cannot necessarily speak on as I'm a golfer, but what I can say is that what they're trying to do, what they're trying to work on, is to be better allies, because we are allies with them. And look, I'm not going to get into politics of it. I'm not specialized in that. But what I can say is they are trying to do good for the world and showcase themselves in a light that hasn't been seen in a while. And nobody's perfect, but we're all trying to improve in life.
Nobody's perfect. We're all trying to improve in life. We got to find the path to forgiveness for helping support the murder of 3,000 American citizens on 9/11. How do these, listen, just say they paid me a ton of money. I'm not going to sit here and talk about 9/11. That's it. Just say it.
Exactly. Yeah. See, that's the thing that drives me crazy is that there is no justification for this, right? Mm-hmm. They asked him about, Caitlin Collins there asked him about 9/11, also asked him about Jamal Khashoggi, the brutal dismemberment of, by the way, a Washington Post journalist. I think that was the answer when he gave, like, nobody's perfect. Like, dude, there's no justifying it. Just be honest.
Breaking points. As always, we're on point.
I got to tell you, what everybody's doing here is incredible for the country. And I got to thank the President of the United States. He is such an amazing human being, more importantly. As I've gotten to know him over the past decade now almost, what he's done, not just for our country, but just for every single person that he goes and interacts with, is absolutely incredible. I can't tell you how many times I've been around him and him just look up to or look over to a kid and be like, how are you doing? You're doing so great. Love you. Keep going forward. Keep growing in life. It's unbelievable what he does for families and for kids. And for that, I say thank you and Merry Christmas to you guys. It's so amazing.
How is my golf game?
His golf game, look, his iron play is actually probably better than mine right now. I'll tell you that right now. I can hit it a little farther, but
he's a slightly longer.
Just a little bit. But his putting has gotten really good lately. I played with Gary Player and Masa's son, of which he made so many putts when we played together for Gary's 90th. But anyway, he's a great golfer, better human being, and you definitely, we're all so lucky to have him as the President of the United States. So thank you, guys.
Jesus freaking Christ. Let's start with that first video. How much was he paid for selling out?
There's always going to be conversations at hand, and I'm always more of a direct sort of person. When I talk, it seems more aggressive, but I've never had a problem with anybody. It's just more that's just the way I talk sometimes.
Have you thought about smiling when talking to officials?
Now I have. Yeah. Especially when you're living your life,
Yeah.
So
there we go. Look at that. Yeah, that's a $125 million smile. That's about
that's
a
little.
right?
That's a little low.
That's a sports north of $125 million. In addition, Phil Mickelson, lefty, was reportedly paid about $200 million to join, and DJ Dustin Johnson reportedly made about $150 million. The league made a mind-blowingly enormous offer to one Tiger Woods, close to $1 billion, but he turned him down. In addition, this was the same dude who called Donald Trump an amazing human being, while just 1 day later, Trump wrote of Rob Reiner in a Truth Social post that Reiner's death was due to the anger he caused others through his massive, unyielding, and incurable affliction with a mind-crippling disease known as Trump derangement syndrome, sometimes referred to as TDS. That's the President of the United States of America. On the economy, Bryson DeChambeau was wrong. The Economic Policy Institute wrote, President Trump will inherit unquestionably the strongest economy for an incoming administration since the George W. Bush admin. That strong economic performance heading up the 2001 transition, moreover, was largely buoyed by an overvalued stock market that was about to deflate and cause a recession. There are no such obvious macroeconomic imbalances that look set to drag on growth in 2025 or beyond, which is almost funny to read because they're pulling us into a recession. Factcheck.org added more of Trump's speech. Trump honed a message of lower prices, bigger paychecks ahead of the midterms. Some of his talking points completely missed the mark. The president falsely claimed he had inherited the worst inflation in U.S. history and that it stopped since he returned. The worst inflation period occurred after World War I, and inflation was up 3% for the 12-month period ending in September. Trump was right to say that oil prices had declined, but the data are mixed for energy prices, a phrase he has used. The national average for a regular gallon of gas, $2.94. Trump claimed it was $1.99 in 3 or 4 states. No state average is that low. Another ridiculous lie. Some individual gas stations advertise such prices in 4 states. He exaggerated when he said he had attracted about $18 trillion in new investments in the U.S. since January. A web page for the White House says the total is 9.6, and that's as of December 10th. Experts say many of those investments are only promises. Trump took credit for the creation of 4,000 new manufacturing jobs in Pennsylvania, because of course he did. But the Bureau of Labor Statistics, which also goes to show you why he doesn't want these organizations and, for example, the Bureau of Labor Statistics having a adamant enough staff to publish these, because everything that they're going to fact check is going to say that he is wrong. The manufacturing jobs are down 49,000 since January. The president would repeat an old claim that more Americans are working today than ever before. That's largely due to population growth. The employment population ratio is down slightly since January. So yeah, don't listen to somebody or even a pairing who sold out to the Saudis and are telling you that the economy is the greatest it's ever been. No. And I would love for Bryson DeChambeau to not use a kid as a human shield in his defense when trying to prop up Donald Trump being a good person, flying a little close to the sun with the Epstein allegations, and also, have you looked at anything he has said about anybody that is simply not a friend? Have you paid attention to anything that he has said about Jewish people, about black people, about Muslim people? How about what he has said most recently about Somali Americans in Minnesota? How about what he said about Chicagoans? He won't. Because Bryson DeChambeau is in the club. And in a way, he is paid to be in that club. He's an exclusive member. He's friends with Trump Jr. He's friends with Eric Trump. He'll parade trophies around with them. He's in deep. So what you have is someone who's quite literally a paid shill for this administration. If you can and are willing, please become a paid member here at TYT Sports. And or go to tyt.com/join. In addition, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate it. Have a great day.